there is an important difference in this post-meeting statement compared to the prior one, and that certainly, I think, tilts dovishly, and we can see that in the market reaction. It's quite extraordinary when I compare, for example, the way that the RBNZ is talking about inflation today with their prior assessment at the prior meeting. Back in May, they were telling us that inflation pressures have been lowered. Today, they've replaced that word lowered with significantly reduced. Now, that's a big change in language, which I think leads dovishly. What is even more extraordinary, though, is that change in description has come despite the fact that we haven't actually had any new inflation data for New Zealand. So at the May meeting and today, we are still looking at the Q1 inflation data for New Zealand. We will get an update of CPI next week for New Zealand. New Zealand is unusual as an advanced economy. We only get quarterly inflation numbers. So quite a remarkable change in description of inflationary pressures when we haven't actually had any new data. So, yeah, look, I think a very dovish tone today. The other addition we had in this statement was an explicit acknowledgement that, look, policy needs to remain restrictive, but also the extent of that restriction will be reduced. That's the first time the RBNZ has said that, and that is an important dovish tilt as well.
Okay, and which is by the reaction on the Kiwi dollar as well. But, you know, another accompanying line in that statement was some domestically generated price pressures remain strong. So if you take all the statements together, it seems like they are treading cautiously not to give away a whole lot for the market to deduce that come October, come November, there would be a rate cut. So I read it like that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And again, I just point to the fact that, you know, we won't see updated inflation data until next week. That will be important. And I don't think the RBNZ will really change their tone, will really, cement these expectations of a rate cut or indeed start talking about rate cuts unless and until they start to see official data, hard data, showing that those domestic price pressures are softening. My sense is that we're going to see that. Maybe not next week. You know, it's always a bit difficult to see for any given data point, but it is very clear when I look at the New Zealand economy that this is an economy that's under pressure. It entered recession at the end of last year. Unemployment has risen a lot. With that should come softer price pressures. Once that's confirmed, I think we'll see the RBNZ start to lower rates. And certainly I expect that to happen this year.